Hey guys, you probably hear from my Instagram post and wondering what's going on with SxS Tactical and my new side-by-side shotgun. Um, let's talk about it. So I'm going to try to do this a lot quicker. I actually recorded it. It's currently uploading a much longer version, and I want to keep it much more brief. So we're gonna reshoot it, which I end up doing a lot. So this is it. Comes in a really plain cardboard case. I love that. Don't waste money on a fancy box when I'm not going to use it, right? So, spoiler alert, RMA number. What do you get with it? This is how it comes. I just start pulling parts out here and drop my silicate packet that was in there. It's wrapped in plastic. Cardboard box is kind of falling apart, but that's okay. It's made a long trip. Let's set that there. Okay, we've got all the parts. Set the box aside. So, here we are. I don't know if you can see it here on frame or not, but I've got my other shotgun. We'll talk about that in a minute at the end, just real briefly. We're going to talk about the SxS Tactical in this video. That's going to be the focus. So it's a takedown double barrel side-by-side shotgun. Comes as is here. It's available in different colors. There's 4 different color options with the stainless steel receiver. All of their marketing images make this look really shiny and chrome. It's not. It's much more muted gray, which I much prefer. So I was happy about that. I really actually wanted the black receiver, and my wife accidentally ordered me the stainless. But I'm going to probably Cerakote that at some point anyway, so it's fine. It doesn't matter to me. And actually the stainless looks really good. So good on them for that. And I won't keep you in suspense. Let's just get down to the primary core issue that I'm having with my shotgun. So if you're familiar with the takedown double barrel, basically you have a forend here with some sort of release mechanism. Sometimes it's a button. This one is a little lever that you pull up and it pulls the forend off. And then you've got your barrel assembly and your receiver assembly. That just sticks in there like so. You snap it up tight and it locks in place. But mine does not. So it should actually lock down. This release lever should return to center as it clicks into place, and then you can place the forend on and snap that down, and then you'd have your complete shotgun. As you can see, if we use gravity to hold it together here, my forend does not snap all the way down. I've got the lever here stuck proud. It's not actually hooked on there, it comes right off. And the barrel assembly, like I just showed you, if I turn around, it just falls apart. It won't actually engage the lock in order to close shut. It also has, and maybe it's part of the issue, some, I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a little bit of a lip on the barrel where it meets the receiver on this side, not on the other side, just on the right side. Just one of the little minor fit and finish issues that my shotgun has, which isn't something that I would really complain about. It's a budget shotgun, I kind of expect that, but I just thought I'd point it out. It might be part of the reason why my barrel doesn't fit on my receiver. Obviously, this is a manufacturer defect, so it's not something that I did wrong. It's just the way it arrived to me, and we can learn a couple of things from that. and by taking a little bit closer look at the barrel itself. So they don't really talk about it in their marketing, which makes sense. I probably wouldn't, if I were them, want to go around broadcasting that I was importing shotguns from Turkey and then just laser engraving my name on them. But that's what they're doing. It says right here, made in Turkey, right on the barrel. On the back here, or the other side, it says on here, Torun Sila Seniyai. I'm not sure if I pronounced that properly. Export by Hunt Group Arms, side by side, imported by SDS Import, Knoxville, Tennessee, USA. And then below that, engraved, is BA TAC, Leesburg, Florida, USA, which is, I guess, Black Aces Tactical. And over here it says it's chambered for 2 3/4 and 3-inch shells, 12 gauge, 18.5 inches, cylinder bore. So that's the main issue. Minor issues that I'm not really complaining about, but I'll just point them out in case you're curious about the general fit and finish of the guns. I'm sure all of them don't have lockup issues. I certainly would hope so. Mine did come with a pretty big scratch in the finish. Here you can feel it. I can feel it with my finger as well as see it. I've got a little one that I can't feel right down here and one that I can on the bottom where a sling swivel might be mounted at some point. Not a deal breaker for me. I'm going to end up putting a recoil pad on here that probably has a sleeve over that, and you would never even see it. It doesn't bother me. I might even put a shell carrier on there or something as well at some point. So, in fact, I'd love to get a combo that holds shells and has a recoil pad, maybe with a leather finish or something. That would be really cool. But that's kind of an idea of the general fit and finish, which is, I think, on par for a budget level shotgun. We've got proud wood here at the receiver. On a premium shotgun, that might have been hand sanded down to meet the receiver smoothly, but not on the budget shotgun. Same here, we've got the fore end the wood's a little bit proud to the metal, which is actually great. It's better that the wood be proud than the metal be proud, because if it bothers you, you could always sand it down and refinish it yourself. If you really want to clean it up and make it beautiful, you can do that. I probably won't. I'll probably just keep it as is. I think it's all right as it is, but that's the general finish. So, sorry, let me get this back on there. There we go. And then it comes with what they call the bear claw grip, which replaces the stock and gives you a nice short package if you want more of a home defense truck gun type setup, or just for kicks. At some point, I think maybe for fun, I might actually try to build a thigh rig for it and run the pistol grip just for kicks at the range. Obviously not something I would carry around with me, but it's a cool option to have. And it was kind of a selling point to me buying the shotgun, all of the accessories that it comes with, the extra grip as well as the chokes. It is a choked shotgun, so hopefully you can kind of see there. I don't know if it's going to focus for you or not, but it does have a choke in it. We've got a number 4 choke and a number 3 choke. What does number 4 choke and number 3 choke mean? I know those aren't real terms. At least I don't think they are. This is kind of new for me, having a choked shotgun. But it comes with chokes, and they are marked with numbers, or little hash marks there, just kind of hacked out with a hacksaw or something. Number 4, there's a number 4 in it, and a number 3 in it, a number 2, and a number 1, as well as a choke tool and the little Allen wrench for the screw that holds the stock on and puts the grip on. So it's nice that they include those. That's a cool feature. Then, yeah, but of course this is entirely useless if I can't close it up and actually fire it. So I've got to send it back. And that's where we kind of really turn sour, at least for my experience. I did a decade or more of customer service myself, and I got a little Air Force flying by right now or something out there. We'll let them pass. So I did customer service for over a decade myself, and that's very important to me. I've learned that customer service experience can change customer experience dramatically in any direction. So having good customer service, you can take something that's a bummer, a bad instance. In this case, you've sold me a shotgun that doesn't work or even fit together and clearly has never been test fired. Personally, I would be embarrassed by that. But they've got past quality control. I don't know what their methods are at Black Aces Tactical, but got past quality control. And I reached out on Instagram initially, and then under the advice of some friends, I reached out to their customer service person directly. I'm pretty sure it's the same person in both cases. I wasn't sure at first, but I did end up looking him up from his email address. Eric Limon is, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is the person who's emailed me. And excuse me, let me take a drink of water real quick. Whew. Trying to stay hydrated in Colorado Springs. I got a new water bottle and the ice comes through. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so Eric Limon, who I've talked to via email, and I gave him the full story just in case it wasn't him that I was talking to on social media, on Instagram, but I'm pretty sure it is, via direct message. And I just laid it all out to try and be clear, because what happened when I initially contacted him on Instagram was he said, well, can you put some oil on it and try again, see if you can get it to fit together. So I did. I oiled up the action. I oiled up the locking mechanism really good, even the pivot point, and went ahead, slapped it back together, and just as you saw just now, it still doesn't fit. It's not going to change the fit on it. There's too much metal on the barrel or on the receiver. One of them is not ground to spec in order to accept the other. So I let him know that that did not fix the problem. And he said, well, ship it back to us and we will fix it with a 1-day turnaround and get it back to you, and we'll ship it back to you. So I thought, and here's our address. So I thought, okay, so now I need to figure out how to ship a firearm, which is okay. I kind of really knew that already. I just didn't know what facility I needed to go to here in Colorado Springs, at least closest to my location. But it was clear to me that he intended for me to pay to ship the gun to him because he sold me a defective gun. And that really bothered me. It's not a massive cost for shipping, so maybe I shouldn't be as bothered by it as I am. But it was clear to me that he didn't seem to have any clue what he was talking about as a customer service agent. He just gave me an address and said, ship it back. And so then I thought, this is a social media guy, not the customer service guy. He probably doesn't know the procedures or whatever. I had to ask him if there was someone I should address it to, or an RMA number that they wanted to track the order. I mean, I could have just shipped it back to them and never gotten it back. They could have misplaced it or lost track of whose shotgun it was, or who knows. I mean, maybe they're more organized than that. Surely they are. But in general practice, if you're returning a product, you want to track that with the customer and the customer experience, and you're going to have some sort of tracking number or RMA number. So he gave me an RMA number after I asked for it, and there was a couple people that I had talked to about it. A lot of people were asking me about it. I mean, I Facebook Lived the process of picking it up at my local gun shop. I was so excited to get this shotgun that I filled out my paperwork for my background check, and then I went out and hopped on Facebook Live in the parking lot, let my dogs out by a tree there, and chatted with some folks about how excited I was to pick it up online while I was waiting for the background check to come through. And then I just didn't post any updates because obviously as soon as I got home, I discovered it was faulty, and I wanted to give them a chance to deal with that before I made any kind of public announcements about it. And then people started to ask me, you know, hey, what happened with your new shotgun? Hey, what was that big post you were going to make, or what was that big update that you were going to receive on the day I posted, you know, the UPS shipping expectation and all of that. And so I started telling a few individuals what had happened, that the shotgun didn't work, and I had to ship it back to them. And people were asking me, you know, are they, that's really lame. Like, are they going to cover the shipping to get it back to them? Well, no, they're not. And it kind of embarrassed me that I felt like I was being taken advantage of, and telling everyone how I was taken advantage of to pay to fix a mistake they made. Me, the customer, pay for the mistake the manufacturer made, or distributor, maybe we should say, because we already touched on this is a Turkish shotgun made in Turkey. They just brand it for them. If you look around online, I'm sure you can find this exact same shotgun from some other companies with different branding on it. But you'll really notice the scalloping here below the chamber on the receiver. Stands out pretty clear. There's several manufacturers that make this exact same, with this sort of S pattern cut in the checkering. The same lever on the fore end, or the pistol grip. In Canada, I know they can buy them. You can buy them with the pistol grip in a really short configuration. You do have to register it and keep it at your gun range. You can't take it home with you in Canada, but you can get it like that. So they're available. It's just they just branded them and hawked them out. And hawk is a word I'm going to use because I feel like it's a little derogatory, and that's how I feel treated at the moment. It was really their responsibility to take care of the problem, in my opinion. So stepping back again, I emailed Eric directly because I wasn't sure if he was the same person on social media. And I explained, I don't know if this is the same person, but I've been super excited about this shotgun ever since it was announced. I got the email announcement for it. I didn't even know I was subscribed to your emails, and I've been following you and engaged with social media, sharing posts and commenting and liking your posts. And super engaged and involved in asking about when's the side-by-side coming out. I'm really excited for it. They have a new S Max and S Mini semi-automatic shotguns that they've created that are non-NFA short braced shotguns. They looked kind of cool, but I don't know if they manufacture those or if someone else manufactures them and they just stamp them. I don't know how those work, but basically I was commenting on there about how great they look, and I would get one, but I'm saving my money to get the side-by-side first. And when it came out, I even messaged them directly at that point and told them I was really interested in it. And I didn't want to put it on a credit card at first, and so I was hoping I could earn up some money and then buy it, but it sounded like they were only making a few of them. Um, I didn't realize they weren't making them at all. They're just engraving them and ordering a certain batch or whatever. Um, but that's okay. At the budget that I bought Turkish shotgun, um, I don't really feel like that's a huge negative, assuming that it works and fits together. Um, so anyway, I emailed them, explained how excited I was and how excited I'll be to get it back fixed, and just let them know that maybe there was some sort of miscommunication, but nobody sent me a shipping label or told me how much shipping they would reimburse, if I should, what shipping I should use, if I should insure it, what were they going to reimburse me for, if they were planning to do that. I just wanted to make sure they had that opportunity. And told them, if you want to throw a sticker or something in there, I'd be happy when I get it back to show that off and really kind of promote the product if I have a good experience, obviously. And Eric emailed me back and he said an RMA has been issued. We'll investigate the issue, or has been provided. An RMA has been provided. We'll investigate the issue when we receive the shotgun. So it sounds like he doesn't even believe me that there is a problem that he could possibly be at fault for, even though he clearly has never test fit or test fired this shotgun. And he's not interested in covering the cost, even if he is responsible. He could care less about my feelings and my opinion of his company. He's got my money, and that's all he cares about. He's hawking wares, is how I would put that. So I'm never going to do business with Black Aces Tactical again, but I am going to go ahead and ship this in at my own expense. It's getting a little late in the day here today, so hopefully I'll be up for that tomorrow. I'll take it in and get it shipped out. And then they said 1 day turnaround. I don't think that'll be possible because they'll have to make some modifications to the gun in order to make it fit, unless they're just going to grab a barrel off of another gun and find one that fits. I don't know how they're going to handle this in 1 day, but they would have to basically grind down some of the metal to fix the fitment issue and then refinish or repaint the metal afterward in order to resolve that, and I don't see that happening in just 1 day. I mean, the paint needs time to dry and cure and all that, so that doesn't make sense. But they said 1 day turnaround, and then they're going to ship it back to me, and I don't know what speed they'll ship it at. But I will follow up on it and let you guys know what happens in the end. And hopefully I get it back, it works great, and it'll do the job that I wanted it to do, which is basically to have some fun shooting Aguila mini shells, or I guess Federal has some mini shells out now. Because I'm recoil sensitive, mini shells are a great way for me to go, and maybe do some trap shooting, and maybe even hunt with it. It's kind of a short barrel for hunting. I'll have to kind of pattern test it and kind of see if that's viable with some of these chokes or not. But I'm just excited to have it, and then I'm going to kind of customize it out in a Doom 2 theme for what I would call a super shotgun, or that's what they call it in Doom 2. The double barrel shotgun is called a super shotgun, and that game for me really got me into guns. It got me into first-person shooters, into gaming, and it's kind of always been a dream of mine to have that double barrel shotgun from Doom. So that's the plan, is to kind of turn this into the double barrel shotgun from Doom 2. And then I've got my Mossberg 500 here that I'm starting to customize out slowly for a more high-tech looking combat shotgun to be the pump action from Doom. one, and I'm going to do it in a theme more like Doom 2016, the newer version that came out in 2016, and then there's Doom Eternal coming out really soon. So this one will be kind of more, kind of somewhere in between, because that one is obviously very sci-fi and enormous. This will be more like the old Remington 870 that they used for the original sprites, but in a more futuristic style with the ATI T3 stock on the back here. I'm going to put an M-Lock forend on it, and Medieval Industries foregrip, 360 grip, because I love those, and it's going to just make it a lot easier for me to run the shotgun. I need to put an extended release on it at some point, and I really want some sort of heat shield or maybe a rail or something to go on it as well. Black Ace's Tactical makes a big rail for it that would really fit the theme. I think it's kind of overbuilt, but it would fit the theme I'm going for, and I sort of considered it, but obviously I won't be buying that from them going forward. So maybe I can find some sort of a cheap knockoff version that does it more M-Lock and less rail, less bulky. That would be cool. But I want some way to put a flashlight up front, and maybe a sling mount, so I don't have to use the sling mount way up here. It'd be nice to have one a little further back toward the forend. But that's the plan. So at some point in the future, we'll have some videos on customizing and or overviews of customized shotguns in the new Doom themes, using this Mossberg and hopefully this Black Ace's Tactical side by side, unless somehow I manage to get my hands on a Stoeger side by side instead, and maybe get rid of this one. I'm sure it's going to be a great shotgun once it's working, but my experience just from a customer relationship standpoint has been so soured that I'd just rather not own it at this point. And if I could return it, I would, but they have a very strict no return policy, clearly stated on their website, so I can't return it and get my money back. But maybe at some point I'll be able to sell it or trade it for a Stoeger side-by-side instead, one of their Coach Supremes or something like that they call it. One of their Coach guns would be just as well. It wouldn't come with the pistol grip, but I could probably manufacture one myself just by cutting a stock down. Kind of custom do that myself. It's wood. It's easy to do that kind of stuff. My dad's been doing some woodworking, and I've done very little bit, but I'm sure that I could manage that in an attractive way. So plus I might never even really want the pistol grip. We'll see. So anyway, that's an overview of the shotgun itself. This is how it arrives. And hopefully if you decide to purchase one, yours actually fits together and works. But if it doesn't, or if you're using some other Black Ace's Tactical product and you have an issue, just be prepared that you're probably going to be working with, I just spaced his name, Eric Limon, the CEO of Black Ace's Tactical. That's who you're going to be talking to if you have an issue, and he's probably going to be a bit of a jackass. He really just shouldn't be in a customer service position, in my opinion. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. Thanks for watching. Definitely hit the links down in the description to follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can hit up my Patreon. You can buy merchandise on my Teespring store. I've got several campaigns running right now to support myself and my struggle with ankylosing spondylitis, as well as to show support for others that you might know with ankylosing spondylitis, with a blue ribbon support theme. So all kinds of merchandise for that, as well as some artwork that I've done. Now, I do want to be clear, proceeds for that go directly to me. there's obviously, Teespring gets their share, and then I get a profit off of it, and that goes to me. I don't donate that to an ankylosing spondylitis organization. I just want to be clear about that. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's a disease that I struggle with, and I want to show awareness for it by creating these products. But I did the work to create the designs, and so I don't have a very high markup on them, but it does help me out a little bit if you decide you want to purchase those to help cover some of my bills, as I'm on disability and have a very limited budget. That's another reason why this shotgun was a big deal for me. This was a big purchase for my wife and I to make, and for us, even though it is a budget level shotgun, it was a big purchase for us, and I just feel incredibly disrespected and really, I don't know what the word is. I just feel like Eric doesn't really care now that he's got the money, and he's just hawking wares like somebody selling fake Rolexes out of their overcoat. So that's my opinion, and maybe you'll have a much better experience than I've had, but I thought I should put my experience out there and let folks know kind of what to expect if you have issues. Hopefully you won't. Thanks for watching.